Let's hit the field.
It is Saturday, June 21st, the first full day of summer, and the Yankees were taking on the Orioles in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Clarke, Schmidt on the mound, and the Yankees were trying to get back in the win column. My recap and your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Finally, some positive signs from the Yankees offense. They break out. They win 9-0. That's how you're supposed to treat a last-place team. Terrific outing from Clarke Schmidt. 7 no-hit innings. Few people were pissed off that he came out of the game with a no-hitter intact, but he was over 100 pitches through 7 innings. He threw 27 pitches in the first inning. You're not going to push him too much, especially when he's really dealing. You don't want to get this guy hurt. Last year, remember, he was just starting to get it together, and he got hurt, and he missed a long time, and he wasn't quite the same when he came back. This year, they want to maintain his health and see if he just keeps dealing. Fantastic game, though. He has a scoreless inning streak over 25 innings now. And, look, the Yankees offense showed a lot of grit today. We had home runs from Grisham, Escara, Rice, Volpe. Grisham had 3 hits today. Fantastic day. Volpe had 3 hits, although one of them was a dribbler, one of them was a blooper, but he also went deep down the right field line. Rice not only homered, but he tripled. And when someone hits a home run and a triple, you start thinking psycho, but he did not get there. Triple would have been a home run in 20 ballparks. So as far as Yankee Stadium and how it plays, the Yankees get a lot of crap for having the short right field porch, and that would have only been a home run here or there, whatever. Well, that would have been a home run in 20 ballparks. So center field and left center field both take balls away, both take home runs away. So, you live with it, Oswald Peraza drove in a couple of runs today on a kind of a bloop single. We'll take what we can get from him, though. And the Yankees, they need to win more like this against their division. They have not played well against the American League East. The Orioles now are 11 games out. They're 33-43. Yankees 44-32. So you'll take it. We had some good news before the game. Luis Gil was throwing live batting practice against Yankees hitters. First of all, I love how he was doing it in full pinstripe. You see it in the upper right-hand portion of your screen there. I thought he looked good just from what we saw, just from this little cell phone shot here from Brian Hoke. Look, I like that he's practicing how he plays, right, in the full uni. You're not going to pitch in a game in gym shorts, right? I mean, it feels different, So I like guys who do that, who take it seriously. Velocity was mid-90s. We know he'll dial it up to 98, 99, 100 before it's all over. Arm looked free and easy. I knew from the moment I first saw Luis Gil that he was going to be the real deal if he could figure out his command issues. Last year, he did have 77 walks, which I believe led the American League, but he had 171 strikeouts in 151 2/3 innings, 15-7, 3.50 ERA. He won the Rookie of the Year award. And the Yankees are saying they kind of view him as a trade deadline acquisition, so figure he'll be back late July. Look, working with Garrett Cole, he was able to make humongous strides last year. You wonder how much Cole has been working with him on the side as he builds back up. But if he can come out of the gate the way he did last year when he began 10-1 after the injury to Garrett Cole to kind of pick up the slack, hell, that would be a huge boost to the Yankees down the stretch and a huge boost to their chances to win the American League East. It's no longer a sure thing. Never was. Jared says, why did Boone take out Schmidt? It's quite simple. He had 104 pitches. Pitchers do not go much further than that these days. I believe they said his career high in pitches was 107. So, I mean, you're not going to stretch this guy to 120, 130 pitches. That's how arms get messed up. So they're watching out for his health. They don't care about the no-hitter. They care about winning games, and they care about having the healthiest pitching rotation they can going into October. But today was also about the offense. Offense got it going from the first inning. Solo home run from Trent Grisham just over the short right field porch. Only a home run at Yankee Stadium and at George M. Steinbrenner Field. Barely made it, but still, an all expenses paid Full beverage service included, no hidden fees, free mustache ride, 15 home runs for him on the year. His career high is 17, so he is going to pass that if he stays healthy. Second inning, JC Escarra tacked one on, much less of a no, or much more of a no-doubter. Went into the second deck, hanging sweeper, and he tagged it. Only a second home run of the season, but when he really connects, they stay hit. When he hits them, they stay hit, as they say. We got a quick call here about Escarra that I'll get to.
What's up, Derek? Matt here in California. Bottom of the sixth, second game of the Yanks O's. Love seeing that everyone's getting hits. Volpe finally doing something. Really good to see that. But I tell you what, I want to keep seeing Escarra in that lineup. Because I feel like if we had Wellesley in there, we'd be seeing some groundouts, some double plays, flyouts. So hope they keep.
Well, there's no way to know that. It didn't happen. Maybe in an alternate universe. But if he keeps hitting, they'll keep giving him shots. I mean, Rice is going to keep getting at bats all over the place. He's going to play some first base. He's going to DH. They said Stanton's probably going to go 2 days on, 1 day off. That opens up some DH spots for Ben Rice. You play him at first base some, give Goldschmidt some days off against tough righties. And then you mix Ben Rice in at catcher once in a while. I thought he looked good back there. But there's still going to be at bats for J.C. Escarra, and there's still going to be at bats for Austin Wells. But Ben Rice also found the second deck, 13th home run of the season for him. Wow, what a shot. For a while, it was looking like he was going to hit 35 to 40 home runs, but the pace has really fallen off. I'm going to pull up his StatCast numbers real quick because he's just been unlucky, and I think it's worthy of checking out that his traditional stats don't match, what his expected stats are, which amplifies why launch angle is so important. So we got our screen working now. So as you can see, elite across the board. Batting run value, xWOBA, expected batting average, expected slugging, average exit velocity, barrel percentage, hard hit percentage, bat speed, squared up percentage, chase percentage, all well above average. Even the launch angle sweet spots in the 62nd percentile, if that was up near the 75th percentile or whatever, he'd probably have 17, 18 home runs. That would be my guess. That's the difference because he hits the ball so hard. And being a good hitter, being a smart hitter, I think he's going to figure out a way to make that adjustment, and I think he's going to get better over time. Next year, I anticipate him being our starting first baseman. I think he's probably going to hit 20-plus home runs this year. Let's figure a second half, he probably won't hit as many as he hit in the first half because he's not going to get as much playing time unless Giancarlo goes down with an injury. So you figure, let's say he hits 7 more home runs, right? Maybe 8. We'll say he has 20, 21. Well, then he enters next year feeling a little bit more confident in his major league abilities, knowing that he's probably the first baseman. Goldschmidt, as good as he's been, with a guy like Rice in-house who's cheap, they're probably just going to go with Rice at first base, the traditional left-handed hitting, slugging first baseman like the Yankees do. And, he might go in there thinking, okay, my goal is 30 home runs this year, and I think he can do it. And I think he can probably hit a lot better average-wise than he is now if he starts hitting some of those balls over the second baseman instead of right at him. So beautiful hitting from both Jazz, Chisholm, and Jason Dominguez in the third inning. Good base running by Jazz to go first to third as well. Volpe broke up his 0 for 25 with a little infield dribbler to load the bases. Escarra picked up the sac fly. Ball got away from Gary Sanchez and allowed 2 runners to move up. I feel like I've said that before on this podcast. And then Peraza with a little blue pop-up single to bring in 2 runs. That made it 6-0. Richard C. pointing out that the weather has not really cooperated with the Yankees in May. It's been a rainy May, and now that the weather is heating up, maybe the bats will heat up too. The pitching has been phenomenal. What we need is to maintain that and have the hitters get going. Volpe's next at bat, he went opposite field down the right field line for a solo home run, so 2 hits in a row. After the 0 for 25, he ended up getting another one, so he had 3 hits on the day, 3 for 4. He is second on the team in RBIs this year. He has now got 41 RBIs on the year. So he's on pace. We're not even at halfway. We're 76 games in. Still got 5 more games until we're halfway. Figure he's going to have 80 RBIs at least. Maybe not 90. That's not bad. Has he been disappointing in a lot of ways this year? Sure. But he's still been productive with runners in scoring position. Rice picked up the RBI triple to make it 8-0. at that point. And at that point, it just became about Clarke Schmidt and how deep he could go. With the 27 pitches in the first inning, I never expected him to go much deeper than 6 or 7 innings, but he did finish the day with 7 brilliant no-hit innings, 25 and a third scoreless innings now. His ERA down to 2.84. Last night, Terrence and I both said that if the Yankees were facing a dilemma where they had to trade some pitching at the deadline, you'd have to consider Clarke Schmidt. Warren has more years of control. Well, if that is the case, and I don't think the Yankees are going to trade him, I just want to be clear on that. I don't think it will happen, but he increased his value. He definitely did. And if you look at what he's probably going to make as a free agent eventually, with 2 of the best spin rate breaking balls in Major League Baseball and just continually getting better. He had an ERA under 3 last year. He might get $100 million, honestly, the way pitchers are priced these days. So he's definitely going to get, $15, $16 million a year, minimum. And, other than that, really, really good day for the Yanks. JT Brubaker came in to try and keep the no-hitter going, but Gary Sanchez broke it up. That was the only hit that the Orioles had today. Sucks that it had to be Gary Sanchez. But other than that, I thought Brubaker looked pretty good stuff-wise. Ton of sink on the baseball, about 93 miles an hour. I thought the slider had some good downward break, 86, 87 miles an hour. And the changeup had some good down and away fade. And the Yankees have all of a sudden won 2 out of 3.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
Brian Bashman says situational hitting is for wimps. And Chasing 28 says, more of that, please. Joe Girardi, great job in the booth today. But I would rather see him in the dugout, honestly. I like Joe Girardi as a manager. I like how prepared he is. I like how fundamental the Yankees played baseball under his stewardship. And they won a title. Let's not forget. I know a lot of people crap on Joe Girardi as a manager, but he won a World Series with the New York Yankees. Today was a belt decision. It was a tough decision. We got a lot of comments on this. I considered a team belt, but I feel like that's kind of a cop-out, right? Because it's supposed to be like the guy, right, in the win. We do give out a team belt once or twice a year. I decided not to do it today. We could have gone with Grisham, 3 hits and a home run. Volpe broke out of his slump with 3 hits. Rice, 2 for 5. But the fact that Clarke Schmidt didn't give up any hits at all today, hell, got to go with Clarke Schmidt. Belt winner! Hell of a day. Chris Edwards says, Gary Sanchez. No Gary Sanchez slander. Look, Gary Sanchez was trash as a Yankee. He had a couple of good years, but he was lazy behind the plate. You remember that play against the Mets where he had the ball about 10 feet before the runner got there and he still didn't make the play? I mean, Gary Sanchez was a Troy. He hit 180 a couple of times. I mean, look, slander away in the chat. I was not a Gary Sanchez fan by the end of his tenure here, but he did have some good moments. He did have 30-plus home runs a couple of times. So, BTR520 says, it's always the ones who we trade that come back to bite us. It seems to be that way, doesn't it? It seems to be that way. Brian says, we love taking 300 hitters and turning them into 230 hitters as long as they take their A swing every time. They do seem to swing out of their shoes a lot, but that really, I mean, I feel like that's kind of like I don't know that really happens that often. I mean, Brian McCann was a guy who he hit for a pretty good average before he came to the Yankees. So was Mark Teixeira. Their averages dropped, but I think that was in large part due to the shift. Giambi was a guy who, hit 340 in Oakland where there was a ton of space, which also a ton of foul space there. So I was amazed he hit that high, but when he got to the Yankees, it dropped down to 314. Eventually, he became like a 250 hitter, but I think that was more like age and injuries, and he had knee problems, and the steroids took a toll on his body. But anyway, I think that's only partially true. All right, let's talk about Clarke Schmidt. He had a scoreless inning streak of 18 in the third coming into this game, so he's really beginning to click like he was last year before he had that injury. Finally looked like that guy again, getting deeper into games. 27-pitch first inning, but no hits, worked around a couple of base runners. I thought the 12-6 hammer to freeze Ryan O'Hearn in the first inning was one of the most disgusting pitches I have ever seen in my life. It broke so hard and straight down and froze a really good hitter. And I knew at that point, I said, we're all right. We score some runs today, we're going to be all right. 2 more strikeouts in the second, got Gary Sanchez to pop out. I always worry about a catcher facing a pitcher that he's caught before because you recognize their pitches and you pick up their patterns, but Sanchez did nothing against Clarke Schmidt. He had as close to no-hit stuff today as I've ever seen him have. Just throwing too many pitches early on in the game is what cost him. I had no problem with Boone going out and getting him after 7 innings. I would have done the same thing, to be honest. I mean, you're not going to get through 6 outs on less than 20 pitches at that point, and you risk injury. And for something that, is fun, if you want to throw a no-hitter, keeping your pitch down is part of it, right? But you knew after the 5th inning, when you look up and you see he's got 75 pitches, it's like, nah, he's probably going to go 7. And that's what he did. A 2.84 ERA on the season now. He topped out at 95.1. Still gets a hell of a performance. Richard C. says, Jazz at 70% is a much better hitter. I agree. Robert Ryan says starting pitching has been solid, and it's really been the offense that has dragged down this team over the past, week or so. But 2 out of 3, we'll take it. And then you finish off the homestand tomorrow against the O's. But it doesn't get, it doesn't stop. You got 3 more games this week against Cincinnati before the Yankees are off on Thursday. Then they come back home against the A's. So that's what we're looking at. Quick word from our sponsor, Arena Club, then back with some more voicemails and comments.
Kratz, real question for you. So I'm in Arena Club, and I opened up a slab pack. I pulled a Wyatt Langford auto rookie card. I got an immediate offer from Arena Club. I turned it down. It was in the mid-300s range. I've gotten a few offers since. Thoughts on Wyatt? Should I hold on?
I saw it. I didn't see it when you ripped the pack, but it looks so sick with everything around it and how it's spinning in your showroom. That John looked nice. But no, you shouldn't sell it. Maybe wait till he makes an all-star or 2, and all of a sudden that 300 goes up, and you're going to get another instant offer right away on Arena Club.
That's right. Buy, sell, trade. Slab packs are there for you too, to rip a pack. And for me, I'm just leaving it in the showroom for now. I'm deciding what I'm going to do with it. But if I did want to sell it, then I can get myself another slab pack or buy a card that I want to buy. Get 20% off your first slab pack or card purchase by going to arenaclub.com/Val. Use code FOUL.
Nice. I've been using Arena Club recently. I actually sold a couple of cards on auction there. It's actually really, really cool. So definitely check that out. We got some comments here. Stephanie McAllister says, hopefully the whole team stays hot. When you have trouble, who should get the belt means everyone is hot, 100%. We got a couple of calls here. Here's Steven in Florida.
Hey, this is Steven in Florida.
Redundant.
I'm just calling, I don't know about this pitching poll. Is it from now on a kid's dream to pitch 7 no-hit innings? Did this guy, not dream of pitching at home a no-hitter, but he got pulled because his pitch count is too high? Is that the new standard for a kid's dream? Please let me know. Thank you.
It has nothing to do with his dream. I'm sure his dream of winning a World Series is equaled or surpassed, throwing a no-hitter. And to do that, you got to be healthy. Okay? I think Clarke Schmidt wants to pitch in the World Series again, and I got no problem pulling him there. You risk injury. How many times in his career has he gone beyond 7 innings? I think 2 times. So the odds of him getting 6 outs on anything less than 25 or 30 pitches is pretty low. And then you have another rest period. Look, they maintain a very close eye on the metrics that, every pitch, every delivery, they can tell when a guy's ready to come out, and they knew he was ready to come out. We got a call here from Mary Beth.
Hey, Derek, it is Mary Beth. We are in the top of the 9th inning. I think that this win is going to go a long way with the vibrations for this Yankee team. And
yep, 100%. The vibes, the feeling is really good. And she went on to say, and Mr. Volpe. I think I cut her off a little bit too soon there. But yes, Volpe will be feeling good. those two of the three hits were soft, but they look like line drives in the box score. Robert Ryan says it's a marathon, not a race. Marathon, also a race, Robert. Action VJ says his dream. How about our dreams? What about my prime? All right, ladies and gentlemen, one more time.
Ball game over. Yankees win. Yankees win.
Info says great graphics. Appreciate it. Yeah, been doing a lot of work on the show recently. I don't have all my sounds back. I still don't have the I'm so sick of this shit. I don't have stellar defense. I don't have he can't hit for nothing. I don't have them all built in. I don't even have more of that, please, or crickets, or the O from Andrew Dice Clay. But we got a few things. And I'm working on all that. My plan was to rebuild the show at some point over the All-Star break, but I'm going to have other stuff to do over the All-Star break, so I'm going to work on the sounds at that point probably, and over the next couple of weeks, we'll just kind of keep the basics. But, yeah, continuing to build out graphics. We got some other stuff, so the key is to have stuff ready to go. So, like, you know, I've got a show built for if the Yankees make a trade, all ready to go. I've got a whole bunch of two-person things, some prospect things. I'm just kind of trying to rebuild everything out so that we can go live quicker and have more robust shows that are more topical, a lot more graphics on the screens and things like that. We really want to grow. I mean, this show is getting pretty big. We just hit 20 million views yesterday, and I put up a short thanking everybody for that, but I want to get even more. I want to get bigger. So keep them coming. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see you next time. If you made it this far, do us a favor. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join our community. You can also be a part of the show by calling in at 718-899-1068. Also, part of the way that we maintain and fund all of this is through NYYDesigns.shop. Check it out now. Get all sorts of fun Yankees merch, hats, hoodies, zip-ups, beanies, mugs, you name it. We've got it. Check it out, NYYDesigns.shop. And check out Pinstripe Territory on all your favorite podcast platforms. We are the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We're here for post-game shows after every single game, and we're here before a lot of games to talk about the game, preview the lineup, the pitching matchups, and things like that. And we're here all off-season to talk about the latest in Yankees rumors, news, etc. Join our community. We'll see you next time.